The story for Hitman Absolution follows Agent 47 once again, who in the beginning of this game is after his old handler named Diana, the girl who always talked to you before your mission started and your missions ended in the last Hitman games. So of course she went rogue, exposed the entire agency to the public, and she kidnapped a girl named Victoria who is very important to the agency, so you have to go and kill her and get Victoria back. The thing is, you go there, you shoot her, and you're just like, oh, Diana, man, I've been with you for so long, I can't kill you. And Diana asks you to do one last thing for her, take Victoria and don't let the agency have her or anybody else, because she's very important, because she could be the new Hitman, the new Agent 47 if they get their hands on her. So you as the kind-hearted Hitman decide, you know what, I will protect this girl and I will keep her away from every villain out there, including a man named Benjamin Travis, who is like the head of the agency now, and a man named Blake Dexter, who is this cowboy hick looking dude that just wants her because he's evil. And of course many other people that want her that you have to go and kill because that's traditional Hitman style. So while I thought the story was fairly generic, I still really enjoyed it here. I like that they give Hitman Agent 47 more of a personality here, and I also enjoyed the main villain Blake Dexter, who's the cowboy hick dude, and I just thought he was a really fun over the top villain. And I like all the little things in between, all the little characters here and there and all the little set pieces. I don't know, I really enjoyed this story. It's not amazing, but it's a lot of fun. But now let us talk about the sound, which I'm going to tell you straight up is phenomenal in this game. First of all, the voice acting is filled with Hollywood stars here. You got John Grease, Isabel Furman, Stephen Bauer, Tracy Lords, Vivica A. Fox, Shannon Sussman, Powers Booth, and Keith Carradine, all doing a fantastic job here. I love the guy who voices Agent 47 in this game, David Bateson. I thought he was amazing. I thought the voice acting just overall was fantastic. Everybody did a great job, or an over-the-top job. That's fine. If the game calls for it, it needs it. It needs that over-the-top acting, which it really works here. The sound design is extremely well done here, especially when the environments open up and become bigger and you just see huge crowds of people doing separate things. I thought that was fantastic. And the soundtrack here really makes just the assassination so much better, especially when the big Inception-like bong comes out whenever you kill someone. Just awesome, it really is. So overall, the sound here really makes this game so much better. Now let's talk about the graphics for Hitman Absolution, which I was not expecting this, but this game looks phenomenal. It really does. In the beginning, you get out of your little ice cream truck, you look around the environment, you see all these beautiful looking trees and foliage everywhere, the scenery shots of the mountains. Whenever 47 walks, you see his tie and his suit just move around, and just stuff like that. Little details like his tie moving around just makes me go, wow, they really cared about the way this game looked. Now later on in the game, a couple missions later, you go into the Chinatown district, and when you open those doors and you see huge crowds of people doing different things, just talking on their phones or waiting for their food or whatever and talking to each other, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is an absolutely fantastic and one of the best looking games of this year. But I do have a couple problems, one being that some of the character animations are a little wonky at times, and the other one being that the cutscenes sometimes don't look amazing. They really don't. Sometimes they look lower quality, which is a little sad, but for the most part, this game is absolutely fantastic looking. I loved it. But now let's talk about the most important part of any game, the gameplay. And Hitman as a series has always been about getting a contract, going into a certain establishment, and killing a certain target, but making it look like it was an accident, not an assassination. This iteration keeps that the same, but adds new things which not many fans are gonna really care for. Like I said, the main objective is still there. You go and kill a certain number of targets in an area by either shooting your way through hordes of enemies, or by taking the more stealthy route. The stealthy route could either be you just crouching between cover and going from cover to cover without anybody seeing you, or you can knock out someone and take their clothes and become one of the group and just walk around, make sure you don't get too close to people, because then they'll notice that you're not actually a part of the group, and going around, roam the environment and look for things to use to kill your target. Now let me just say, the gunplay section of this game is so much better than any other Hitman game. The shooting is actually fun and really easy to control, and the game has many different guns that you can unlock by finding them in the environment. It also has a pretty damn good cover system, which is something I really need to say because not many games nowadays have one. So even though the gunplay is so much better in this game than the others, the main attraction for many players is the stealth approach to the gameplay. You feel like a true Hitman when you roam the environment of your target and look for different items like knives, bottles, hammers, and many more to use to kill him or her, or looking for a way to make it look like it was an accident when he or she died. That is my favorite part because I can easily walk out of that environment like I'm just part of the crew, which is a great feeling. You know, no one accuses me at all because it just looks like an accident, even though I'm the one who killed him. I'm such a badass. Now, a brand new feature which I love in the game is something I like to call Hitman Vision, which lets you see where the enemies are in the environment, what their walking routes are, who is your main target, and it even helps you stay inconspicuous when someone gets too close to you when you are in a disguise. Now, my favorite part of this feature is the Splinter Cell Conviction style slow down and mark targets feature, which lets you tag your enemy targets or even certain environmental objects like gas tanks or cars, and when you are done, 47 will kill which target you selected in an awesome slow-mo cutscene. It feels like a feature that really belongs in a Hitman game, and it is so much fun to use even if you are going for a more stealthy approach. Just at least use it once more after the tutorial. Come on, it's badass. The campaign itself can take you from 9 to 11 hours to complete if you're going for the more stealthy route, but if you're completely running and gunning it, then it should take you considerably less time, maybe 5 to 6 hours long. The campaign has a scoring system as well and only gives you points for either going through stealthy or by killing your targets with style. No points for killing everybody on screen. Actually, you'll lose points. So the campaign is highly replayable if you want to get a better score or figure out different ways to kill your target, which is more than half of the fun right there to me. Now, the last thing to note here is the contracts mode, which is a create your own hit game type where you can go to a certain level from the game and pick your own targets, your specific ways to kill them, and you can post them up online and let other people play them. It's a fun mode and it is great to be able to play other people's contracts, which will easily increase the playability of the game for most, as long as you don't hate the levels. If you don't like the levels, then you're most likely not going to like this contracts mode at all. So overall, I think this Hitman iteration is probably one of the best of them all. Not many people are going to agree. I know a lot of people don't really care for this one, but I think it's a lot of fun, has a lot of replay value, a fun story, great voice acting, beautiful graphics. I think there's just so much here to offer for replay value. I think this is a great game. Definitely go check it out. Thank you and goodbye.
Another little bleeding hot coward. Yeah. Oh man, my dad, he is gonna eat you.